I want inadequate socks for a sofa chat, so I'm going to have to bury those under
they're very, very short.
I don't want my ankles out on
Do you not?
breakfast television. The nation doesn't want that this early in the morning.
So tell us, you've been rehearsing, I believe, this week. How's it been going?
Yeah, good.
Does it help having done 1 year at least?
I think it helps a little bit, but that maybe lulls you into a false sense of security, and you always have to remember that it is still a pretty unplayable gig. So I was rehearsing at the O2 yesterday, and there was like 40 camera crew and a few security guards listening in to me doing my my script.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's probably a pretty fair example of what it would be like on the actual night as well. 40 people listening in an arena. That is what you get. That you can't hope for any more than 40 people actually paying attention to you at any point.
Yeah, yeah. Do you feel the pressure, though, at some stage just to try and kind of be a little bit edgy?
Well, I think so. You know, everyone's there to have a good time, and it's quite a raucous event. The best thing about last year, though, you've got like all these rock stars and the Foo Fighters and, you know, people like that you expect to be very rowdy. Yet still, like, it was Schofield and Willoughby that were the most drunk in the entire arena and behaving more outrageously than any of the rock stars. They put them all to shame. So, you know, it's a crazy event, and people want the craziness, they want the raucousness, so you've got to just embrace the chaos.
Tell us about Niall Horan, because you've made a bit of a promise to him, I believe, this year. Well, basically, you have to mention him.
Yeah, I mean, this is all his doing. Like, I saw him, I was in America, and he was like, oh, you're going to do a joke about me this year? And I went, oh, I wasn't planning on it. He was like, oh, no, you should. And I was like, careful what you wish for. So the whole process of writing the script, I've been trying to crowbar in a Niall joke. Okay. And I've got a really good one, I think.
Good.
So I'm going to throw him a bit of shade. And he can't complain.
Of course he can.
It's his own fault.
So here, tell us about the tour. It's coming up later on in the year, I know that. The tickets go on sale, I think it's this Friday, isn't it?
Yeah.
10 a.m. to be precise.
10 a.m.
Yes, I thought I'd do that for you.
Thank you.
So it's called... You don't know any of the details. I thought that. So it's called Stood Up.
It's called Stood Up, yeah.
Where are we going with this tour? We're talking about travels with your dad, being single.
Yeah, I think there's a, you know, my dad will feature in it because I've been travelling around the world with him for the past 2 years and having an incredible time, but also, you know, soaking up some amazing stories.
Yeah, again, you did one of the tours in the round where the audience were all sort of, you're not going to do that again, you just think something different each time. Yeah,
I think every time I try and put on a big show, and I think if you're doing a stand-up show in an arena, for me, I feel a duty to make it more than just a guy stood there with a microphone. And so every time I try to have a big finale and, like, enter the stage in an exciting way, you know, my influences are people like Beyonce.
Well, yes.
That's what I want to be, the Beyonce of comedy. The Queen Bee of comedy.
How do you
Costume changes, like flying in, like big musical numbers, visuals. I just don't want it all to be jokes.
Okay.
I want to throw everything at it and make sure that it's worthy of being in an arena and making sure that people have a great night out and that they leave the arena buzzing. So I haven't quite worked out what the finale was, but last year I staged an entire Frozen musical with me dressed as a troll. So I've got to top that, and I will. Yeah. Mark my words.
But you want to be a musical theatre star. Yes. Let's be honest. That is the ultimate thing for you, Jack, isn't it?
And do we know what's opening the Brits?
Yes.
Is it The Greatest Showman?
It is The Greatest Showman.
Well,
with Hugh Jackman.
Watch this space.
What might be happening as part of that, I wonder?
I couldn't possibly say.
Okay.
Couldn't possibly comment.
But I do get a sense you might be part of it.
Well, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows these things? Who knows?
I'd
make a lovely bearded lady.
I very much look forward to that. We're talking about your dad there as well. You're back on your travels with him again. You're America next time around with him,
I feel so bad. So we're doing a tour of America, and I literally left him in Phoenix, Arizona, and flew back to do the Brits. So he's out in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, he's still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
Right.
So he's got a couple of days where he just has to have some nice holiday in Arizona. Then I'm going to do the Brits, and the following day fly out to meet him in Las Vegas.
Look how your life is now.
So that's another thing. I've got stories already, but can you imagine the stories I'm going to have for the tour when I've been in Vegas with my dad for 4 days?
Yeah, and I do know your dad, obviously, having met him several times. He's great fun, as is your mum, actually. You can send my love to both of them, because they are great.
They love you.
They're very good.
I have told my dad, and he has believed me, that in Vegas we're going to see Magic Mike. And I told him And he said it. He went, Magic Mike, is that a magician? And I went, yep. He was like, is he like Paul Daniels? I was like, yep, that is what it is like. It is a magic show, and we're going to go to see Magic Mike. And he was like, well, make sure you get me tickets in the front row. I was like, I will be doing that. So we're going to Magic Mike in the front row, and he thinks it's a magic show. And little does he realise that the only magic trick they do is making their shirts disappear. I cannot wait.
But that's the beauty of doing a show like that with your dad, isn't it? You know he's never going to be offended by anything that you do, and you have such a great relationship that it's just always funny.
Yes. And his face always looks like he's just lowered himself into a hot bath. You know, it always looks like pain. And I'm sorry to put that image into anyone's heads, but that is what his face looks like at rest. So that's your starting point. He's always grumpy.
Yeah,
so, you know.
And loads more happening for you as well, obviously, Jack, movie-wise. You're spending a lot of time in America, actually, really, at the minute. It's kind of where you want to be right now.
Well, I don't know, sort of tentatively, trying to break America.
Yeah.
But at the moment, America is very much still intact.
It is not broken.
No dents have been made. No dents have been made whatsoever.
Well, Jack, as always, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen you for a long time, since you were dancing in my kitchen.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. We'll not go into that on early morning telly. But Brit Awards, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. ITV, and this man is in charge.
Do you remember those underpants?
Yes, I wasn't going to mention the underpants.
Sorry, let's not mention
So let's just leave it like that and let you all guess what he's talking about. There you go.